Yo, so someone once asked me why I don't make videos in the daytime. If it wasn't apparent by the birds twittering outside and their airplanes flying overhead, I really prefer to. And my phone ringing! Ah! Anywho. Yeah. I'm gonna just keep it going until. There you go. As it became apparent as to someone's suggestion as to why I don't make videos in the daytime, well, you could see why I would try to stray from making videos. Well, first and foremost, whoever told me that, you got a big mouth on you, son. There goes another plane. Regardless. Yeah, you can fly. I thought we were supposed to be in a travel ban, sir. Why are there planes flying overhead? I don't get this. I don't get there. Yeah. Okay. May I get a chance to speak? Perhaps? Yeah. Okay. Anywho, welcome to the review. We'll be looking today at a Marvel Legends series, Strong Guy Wave, Sunspot, and Black Tom Cassidy. And the reason I picked out these guys is because they actually have Strong Guy's buddy on them. So I want to build Strong Guy's body so he's not just a pair of legs right now. So these two figures, would I say they have something in common? It's just probably their encounters with X-Force. That's about it. X-Force and, and to a lesser extent Deadpool. They were part of a Deadpool wave. But in relation, they really don't have much in common, these two characters. Let's look at Black Tom Cassidy's packaging right here. There he is right there with that creepy smirk. Nefarious criminal with the powers of concussive burst of concussive blast and plant morphology. Black Tom is a true threat. Is he a Magneto level threat? I highly doubt it. He's just a plant guy, man. He's like the Floronic Man, kind of like a male fucking Poison Ivy or something. Marvel Sunspot, and it's Roberto de Casa. Well, they don't have his name here. What the hell? But yeah, it's Roberto de Casa or Roberto de Casa de Costa. Wow, Roberto de Costa. I was kind of off on that. But regardless, this is Marvel Sunspot, and on his packaging it just says in his solar form, which is the one depicted right there, because he has a human form with human skin color. In his solar form, Sunspot possesses the supreme power and cosmic durability of a supernova, and the packaging on the side shows him like that, and that's how he is right there. And I'm gonna crack open one of these guys first and review him, and then I'll crack open the other guy, so stick around. So Roberto da Costa, I said it right finally, is a Brazilian mutant who I guess his first exposure to his mutant powers was during a soccer match, because of course Brazilians just randomly break out into soccer matches and play. But regardless of that, he was one of the original 5 New Mutants who were on this kind of revenge campaign against the Hellfire Club, and then they were picked up by Charles Xavier, and he offered to train them and this and that, and so he was one of the New Mutants along with like Wolfsbane and who else, and Cannibal, and yeah, what have you. And I do believe he did become a member of X-Force, which is shown on his packaging, but I don't think he was one of the founding members of X-Force, if that makes sense. I think he quit X-Force when Cable came around and he turned the New Mutants into X-Force. I think he initially rejected the offer to join them. He did eventually join them later on in the comic run, but I don't think he was one of the original members like Shatterstar and Wolfsbane again, and Domino. But yeah, like his packaging detailed, he has a power of like just emitting blasts of like high supernova energy, and I'm surprised because with that power, you think he would be one of the more powerful mutants around, but he's not really that powerful in the long run of things. Right? Is this collar removable? I don't think it is. And I don't know about this piece right here because it looks cool. I like it, but it's really awkward. It makes it seem like he has like a mullet or something. Like when you look at it like that, it looks like a mullet, and I don't know. And I'm trying to figure out if this piece is removable. I don't think it's removable, and I don't want to remove it. And one of the negative points about it is it's gonna make storing him a lot harder because I like to store most of my figures in like just kind of bins, like Tupperware bins, and they're really jammed together. Maybe it's not the best way to store them, but that's just the way I prefer. Like I have my X-Men bin with all my X-Men characters, and he's gonna go in the X-Men bin, obviously. And I'm just kind of afraid that it's gonna break off right here. But yeah, he's had a lot of history with the Hellfire Club. Obviously, he was one of the members. I'm stuttering. I'm sorry. He was one of the founding members of the New Mutants that went up against the Hellfire Club, but then he had later encounters with the Hellfire Club because he actually comes from a wealthy family, and I think his dad had some business with the Hellfire Club, and they went after his dad, and he got involved as well. And so there's a long history between him and the Hellfire Club as well, just due to the fact that he actually comes from wealth. So that's a very rare occurrence that he's one of the mutants that actually has lived a privileged life. He shouldn't really be out fighting crime, but he chooses to do that. You know, what other superhero would you say that puts on spandex and goes out and fights crime, and even though he comes from a rich family, right? There's not that many heroes around that do that. Nope, not at all. But yeah, articulation wise, this dude has rocker. I like it. It turns right here. Double jointed. Yep, double jointed. Thigh swivel. Can't do the splits that much, but why would you want him to? Waist rotation, ab crunch, and it crunches way back, and that's it. And I think if I push his head forward, see, that's so he could look down pretty good. He could look down pretty good, but it's like that piece right there gets in the way of him looking. Actually, that's a decent way of looking up, right? That's a pretty decent looking up. But yeah, and he does not come with any interchangeable hands. He just comes with these fisted hands, and he came with like these black pieces to like depict like the sunspot energy that he will throw at you. I do believe he appeared in Days of Futures Past, the movie, and I think he is actually also depicted in that New Mutants movie that came out, which all 5 of you have seen. No, I don't know. I honestly put it down. I have not heard of anyone seeing that movie. Like, I don't know anyone that has seen that movie, that New Mutants movie that came out. I heard it's a disaster. I heard it bombed. I heard even if we didn't have a pandemic, movie theaters would still be empty showing it. But yeah. Other than that, what else could I tell you about Roberto da Costa? Great name. And it just shows you how I really do appreciate the X-Men, and how they've always had this international flavor to them. You know, it's like Colossus from Russia, you know, Wolverine from Canada, and Gideon from Spain. You know, it's like they've always had characters that's Obviously, Psylocke is a British woman and a Japanese woman's body. I mean, it's a British soul inside a Japanese woman's body. It's like you've always had like this international flavor concerning the. We're gonna look up at the next character. The next character, he's Irish and he's a half brother of another Irish hero. And yeah, so it's like I've always appreciated X-Men's. Always not just depicting all the characters coming from like, you know, Rochester, New York, or, you know, or Hoboken, New Jersey, or Fort Lauderdale, Florida, or, you know, or Los Angeles, California. You know, it's like, no, it's like there's a variety to the X-Men. They're just as colorful as their costumes, and that's one thing I really do like about them. And this Sunspot figure, he is pretty good. I don't know how to feel about. I do like the headband. It's very 90s. I don't know what to feel about this part right here, to be honest with you. It's gonna break off. I just know it already. It's gonna break off, and yeah, should I just remove it already? I don't know. I don't know what to do. But yeah, that's my only negative gripe about the figure. Other than that, it's your decent, you know, standard. I think it's still the Bucky Cat mold, the long, like the long fossilized Bucky Cat mold that's been around since like the return of the line after, you know, Hasbro discontinued them for like a while. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, man. Sunspot, pretty cool. Let's take a look at this guy, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Thomas Samuel Amon Cassidy. Yeah, Amon. You know, like that one dude that sang that I don't want you back song. Yeah. Am I dating myself with this reference? Yeah, whatever. Yeah, so first and foremost, this guy is one of the more, I wouldn't say most powerful X-Men villains, but he is one of the more prominent X-Men villains. He's been around for a while. And second most, he is Irish from the island of Ireland. He is the cousin of one of the second team X-Men members. Remember how I told you guys that when in the Thunderbird, in the Warpath review, how Thunderbird, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, that was like the second team that was assembled to like rescue the first team from Krakoa. His cousin Banshee was one of those second team members. He was obviously a hero. This guy ended up living a life of crime. Now, the thing about this guy, I guess one of the more notable aspects of him, besides his powers, was the fact that he ended up adopting Banshee's daughter, Siren, and he raised her. And at first, that's why Siren at first was a supervillain, and then she later on ended up becoming a hero and ended up getting the moniker of her dad once her dad passed away. But yeah, so that was, if I remember correctly, they tried depicting real world occurrences. So I think it was like an IRA bombing that had killed Banshee's baby mama, because I don't know if they were married, so I'm just gonna say that. But yeah, and so he got the daughter lived, he got her, and he raised her, and so yeah, that's pretty nefarious. And he never told Banshee until like later on, which I think is pretty nefarious of him to do. And yeah, that's one of the more notable aspects. Another notable aspect of him is he's had a lot of team-ups with various supervillains. The Hellfire Club once again, the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, Juggernaut at the time when Juggernaut was seen as just like this solitary solo villain. He was actually one of the first allies of the Juggernaut, you know. And who are you to deny the Juggernaut, right? But yeah, and power wise, I wouldn't say he has the best powers, because it's like it's like he shares the kinetic energy of plants, and you look at it and you're like, what does that mean? This dude fucking does photosynthesis or something, you know? But it's like, well, at first he's able to shoot blasts of energy from pieces of wood, hence why he has this shillelagh. It looks more, yeah, it's a shillelagh. And now, by the way, shillelagh, I knew that word long before Finley, because I know people are gonna say like, oh, you just learned that word from fucking Finley. No, I fucking play NCAA football, and I know fucking Notre Dame and fucking USC play for that shit like every year, you know. So I know about that. I know about the fucking shillelagh. So I already knew about that long before Finley. But anywho, but yeah, he fires concussive blast from uh from this shillelagh, which looks pretty nice. I really like the skull. I really like the skull. Very Jafar looking. I guess. Oh wait, but Jafar had a cobra, but whatever. But I do like that, and other than that, he is able to utilize like the energy of plants, I think, to help him heal, and I think even to help him spy. It's like kind of like setting down a ward and a MOBA. You know, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but it's like he is able to have eyes and ears and plants, and able to hear people out. And you know, in all honesty, it sounds like kind of like a male poison ivy, you know, Floronic man, what have you, as I previously stated. And I don't know, man. It's like, does that power match this costume? You know what I mean? No, it doesn't. It really doesn't match that costume. You know, it's like, where's the green? Where, you know, it's like, if you could utilize the green for your benefit, where is the green on your costume, sir? Why do you have a Trans Am Firebird on your chest? And nothing makes sense. Why are you called Black Tom? You're not even... No, I'm not even going there. Yeah. Speaking of which, nice face sculpt. I'm not gonna lie, nice face sculpt, but I don't know, man. Kind of... I don't... He looks less like the guy that would fight mutants and more like the guy that would tell you to wake up and to put on a little makeup, you know? But yeah, it's like... and. I want to say this body mold is probably like the Iron Fist body mold, maybe. Yeah, I do like his collar being popped up. You know, he's about to hit the club and pick up on some whatever. Yeah, so nice rain boots. You know, I guess it does rain a lot in Ireland. You know, at least that's what Sinead O'Connor told me. But yeah, great figure. Articulation wise, let's see if the boots get in the way. Not really. The rocks. Oh, the boot. Yeah, the boot can turn. Reminds me of that time. Shawn Michaels was like in the wheelchair. He's like, turn it. Yeah, but yeah, great. Double jointed as always, and being a male figure, you're gonna have double jointed right there. See, only female figures only have single jointed elbows. And his wrist rotates, and no interchangeable hands on this guy either. He only came with the shillelagh. And yeah, Black Tom is great. It's funny because I remember having a hero clicks of him. And I think that Black Tom, they depicted him like holding a gun. So I don't know if it was an error on WizKid's part, or I don't know if maybe I misinterpreted that gun and he was just holding like a wooden stick. But I could have sworn he had a gun way back. But no gun on this figure. Obviously, you should, you know, what does Black Tom have anything to do with the Deadpool? You know, it's like you could excuse Sunspot, right? You could excuse him, like, why he was a part of this wave, because technically it's a Deadpool wave. There's 2 Deadpool figures in this Strong Guy wave, and it's like, well, he's an X-Force member, and you know, and Cable and Deadpool, you know, it's like they're at this point what's the word? They're pretty much a marriage in name only, or without the name or whatever. But it's like, what does Black Tom really have in common with Deadpool? And I mean, Deadpool has had encounters with him. I think once in the 90s. You know, I think Deadpool like kind of like being a bounty hunter, like got him and like turned him into like somebody. I forgot who it was, but that's one encounter that they had. I feel that they just put him in the wave more than not, due to the fact that he raised Siren, who later on became Banshee, and Siren and Deadpool actually had a relationship. So I think that's where that came from as to why they added him in this line. And yeah, the figure though, it looks nice. I do like that. The more I look at him, the more he's starting to look like Destro to me from G.I. Joe. So yeah, but a great figure all around. And yeah, we're gonna look at the strong guy pieces now, so stick around. So Sunspot came with this huge body piece, and there's 4 pegs right there, of course, because this back piece that came with Black Thomas got that peg there. So looking at it, this piece is huge. And I don't understand, because Black Tom only came with the shillelagh and he came with this back piece. Kind of is limited in the stuff he came. Meanwhile, Sunspot, I understand, no interchangeable hands, came with these 2 things, but he came with a big body. So yeah, great paint job on both things, and just reminds me of that 90s figure of X-Men. Now let's see if it's possible. Yeah, I like that. I like the fact that it's impossible for you to place it like incorrectly, because I remember how the Toy Biz Legends were infamous. Like once you put that in, ooh, Lord help you if you trying to get like a body part out. If you put the leg accidentally, like if you put the left leg where the right leg should have gone, good luck trying to get that out now, because you're pretty much SOL on that aspect. So now let's plug in this back piece. There. Looks nice. Looks very nice. And now let's get the legs. And before I even put on the legs, I want to make sure that I'm actually putting the correct leg on. Because even though it's a lot easier on these Hasbro Build-A-Figures, it's still pretty difficult to get them removed. So I think that's correct. I think that's the correct leggage. So there we go. There we go. Yeah. Here comes leg number 2. There we go. And now to pop in his tiny head. Look how tiny his head is compared to his body, but that's actually comic accurate. Whoa! Whoa! Can't get his head in. This is a lot harder than I expected it to be. So I guess that tiny ball joint is giving me a lot more trouble than it should. I'm trying not to break him. Oh man, this ball joint is really tough, man. And I'm trying not to break the ball joint, because if I break the ball joint, that's it. This figure is SOL. There it is. Got it in. I got it in. Perfect. Dang, this strong guy is turning out good. He's even crouching down in a similar pose. He is already bigger than the Thanos from the old Avengers Build-A-Wave set. So yeah, this strong guy is gonna be huge. I'm glad. Obviously, he pales in comparison to even like the smallest of the Build-A-Figures from the Toy Biz era of Marvel Legends Build-A-Figures, but whatever. I'm just liking how comic and comic accurate and accurate to the original 90s toy that he is, and that's pretty awesome. Just needs his arms, so more than likely one of the upcoming reviews will be the 2 last figures in the wave that comes with his arms, so stick around until they come out, and then we actually get to review this guy. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace and love as always. And